So now it's time to decorate our mug. Make it colorful as well as our background. Just make it colorful with a lot of patterns. When you're choosing your colors for your patterns, try to consider what color you want for your wall, or maybe you want to add some window here or some curtain. Maybe you want to add something else behind, maybe another mug or maybe some cake. Up to you. I am going to go straight into coloring right now. But first thing, I'm going to outline my things. I want to use an orange teacup. I want an orange teacup. If you don't have crayon, just use markers. That's fine. We want to outline it so that later when we paint, the color doesn't get outside, because the crayon will stop the water from going out. So it's actually a trick to keep your painting clean. I'm going to use a red and dark orange. Okay, so for my mug, because I want it orange, so maybe my patterns will be a different color. Maybe I'll start with blue. You can use lines like curvy lines. Or you can even add shapes. I'm gonna add rectangle shapes. You can decorate the mug however you want. Just make sure you're using contrasting colors. And do upside down curvy lines. Let's see. Again, just use your own idea to decorate your mug. You don't have to follow mine. Do try to make use of different lines, different shapes. If you want to draw another, like an object on your cup, it's also okay. That's even better. Actually, I am going to write my name here so that it means this is my mug. So I'm going to write Miss Chu. This is Miss Chu's mug. So I'll just write let's see. So like you see here, I have my alphabets like in thick form instead of just writing it like a normal word, because I want to see my letter when I color it. Then I'm going to write my Miss. And I'm going to outline it and color it. If you don't want to color it with crayon, you can always use paint. It's up to you. Just promise me that you will keep it clean. Remember, try to use color blending. Dark, medium, light colors. Now when coloring with crayon, sometimes you have a lot of flakes, so I just like to tap it away instead of brushing it. Because if you brush it, like what I did just now, I made a lot of smudge. So I'll just brush it off. It's best if you have a newspaper down here, but I don't have it. So later I'll have to clean it with a wet cloth. I'll use green next. I think I'm gonna add a tiny eye inside just to make it look cute. Just to make it a bit more creative. You can then outline it with a pencil. If you don't want, it's fine also, but I like to add like fine details to my drawing when I'm done, just to make it cleaner. I'm not gonna color this with crayon because, like I always teach you, the big areas you want to paint it, because if you're gonna color this with crayon, you're gonna take 10 years and you're gonna waste a lot of crayon as well. So I like to paint it. I like to paint big areas with just paint. Let's not forget to outline our table. I think I will do a table with red and white checkers. You can add any kind of patterns you want to the table and the wall. Again, any kind of patterns you want. If you have no idea, think of the lines that you know, like dotted lines, curvy lines, wavy lines. Once you repeat those lines, you kind of can get very nice patterns already. If you want to draw something on the wall, like a photo frame or whatever at all, it's fine. It's up to you. Notice that once I start repeating, it kind of can create a nice pattern. Because after all, a pattern is created through repetition of lines and shapes. Okay, remember, before you start painting, always remember to put some newspaper on your table first. I'm gonna I have to clean up the table before I start painting. And get newspaper. Okay, I'm gonna paint this mug first. So let's see. Where's my cup of water? Where's my palette? My palette's here. Okay, so like I mentioned just now, my mug is orange. If you want to blend, that is okay. I will do that. I'm gonna make my orange lighter with yellow. You don't have to just lighten colors with only white. You can actually lighten it with any kind of lighter color. So when you're painting it, try to paint around the crayon lines. You might want to use a small brush to get into these small corners, just so that it's easier for you to paint and to make sure it's clean and tidy. You might notice that sometimes when you're painting, the paint actually covered the crayon. That can mean one thing, which is your paint is too thick, so just add a bit more water and it should be fine. I'm gonna add a bit of dark orange just on top. It's easier to blend when the paint is so wet. So if your paint is already dry, you want to make it wet again by just painting over. So you kind of see like it's dark orange to light orange. I think for this one I'm going to use yellow, just to make it a little bit more colorful. I'm going to use a smaller brush, just easier. Now see, because I already outlined it with crayon, so I don't really have to spend too much effort trying to keep the paint inside. If you didn't outline it, if you only drew it with pencil, you're going to have a tougher time trying to keep the paint inside. I forgot to mention that if you have no paint, it's okay. You don't have to paint it, just keep it black and white. But you might want to make it more, you might want to fill it up with more patterns just to make it nicer. Leave that aside to dry. Let's paint our background. Okay, so remember color contrast. For example, I have green patterns here. I'm not going to paint my background green again. I'm going to use a different color, a color that can allow the pattern to pop up. For example, red or purple. Purple would help create contrast and make the green patterns pop up even more. For my table, like I mentioned just now, I want red checkered tablecloth, so I'm just going to use red. For the marks, I want it orange. So go ahead and do your work. I'm going to skip forward the video and show you how it looks like after everything is painted and dry. Alright, so now our things have dried. This is my mark and this is my completed background. I also added some polka dots at the bottom and some stripes up there. So remember, you still have your pull tab that we made just now. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply glue on that tab. Stick it down. You want to glue it down so that it doesn't move. Okay, so we have something like this. Now put the pull tab through the slit that you made just now. Adjust the position so that it's directly under the other tab. And then just apply some glue. And press it firmly. Try pulling it and it should pop up. There you go. If you want to add some smoke on top, some steam coming up from your hot coffee or hot Milo, you can actually add cotton or you can use paint. I'm going to add cotton. So I have some cotton here. My cotton pad is rectangle, so I kind of have to pull it apart. If you have a cotton ball, that would be even better. So just pull it apart. If you don't have cotton pad, you can just put tissue. You can use paint. Go around your house and see what else you can use. Something that's white or fluffy. I'm sure you can come up with creative ideas. Then apply some glue first before you stick the cotton down. I'm drawing my glue in kind of like a smoke direction. There you go. Your pop-up mug is completed. If you're not done, it's okay. Just continue later on. And also remember to ask your mom or dad to help you take a picture of your final outcome.